Hello, crypto boys and ghouls, and welcome back to the channel, Tales from the Cryptmancer, where we feature content on play-to-earn games on the blockchain, such as Splinterlands. In today's video, I wanted to show a clip of our recent live stream on Splinterlands TV that occurred this weekend, and we were talking about how might Splinterlands possibly pull some levers to reverse declining card values and possibly do that in the near term. Now, again, this is hypothetical. It's not been discussed by the team, but it's definitely a tool in their toolbox, so to speak, that they could use. So if you would like to participate in future conversations like this with us in real time, you can feel free to join us on Splinterlands TV on Saturday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern and Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, or you can join our members-only chats here by subscribing to our members-only program on YouTube, where we have weekly conversations like this. So let's hop into the video and discuss this topic. So let me start with the land discussion, because I think this is interesting. Now, when nodes came out, right, we had the node pre-sale, and they sold through the pre-sale, and they saw the slowdown in tranche one, and what happened? We saw that they rolled out voucher rewards for nodes early, and they mentioned that they were going to be rolling out SPS rewards for node holders early as well, even though the node licenses weren't fully functional or operational, or even out of QA yet. So what's interesting here is, have you thought about what would happen if once the non-card market is available, which all indications are that should be available very soon, like possibly here in the summer still, could be around the corner. What would happen if Splinterlands came out and said, hey, we're going to release the non-card market so you can split up your tracks and regions and do all that stuff, break those down. Maybe they do the unveiling of what land looks like around that same time. And then what would happen if they said, hey, we're not going to have the land function of the game fully available until next year, but we're going to start allowing you to get rewards from your land. Now that would change the dynamic quite a bit when it comes to land, because right now with the SPS airdrop ending, land is really just kind of a long-term hold, right? Because you're not going to get SPS airdrops for land anymore. Right now, if you hold a plot of land, you get credit for 10,000 CP or 10,000 airdrop points. And in about 10 days, or 9 days, I guess now, that's no longer going to be true. So if you hold a tract of land or a region of land, you're no longer going to get benefits from that. So what will be interesting to see is if they look to reward the long-term landholders still by, once they roll out the non-card market and the unveiling of land, if they say, hey, stake your monsters on your land and we'll open up those reward pools. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but since what we saw with nodes happened pretty recently, it's not out of the realm of possibility that the Splinterlands team looks to keep land at the forefront of all Splinterlands asset holders. And what would that mean for us? Well, if all of a sudden 150,000 plots of land are opened up in the game, and indications have been that it might look like a team on a land, so one summoner and up to maybe somewhere between 4 to 6 monsters on each plot of land. Well, if they started opening up reward pools for land owners, that would suck up a huge amount of cards in the ecosystem. If you just do the math here, and I don't know if I can share my calculator, but if you take 150,000 plots of land, just be conservative. Do 1 summoner and 4 monsters. Don't even do 6 monsters. Just do a total of 5 cards per land plot instead of 7. That's 750,000 cards that could be consumed by land. And if you assume that the value in land is going to be using max cards, right? That's 750,000 max cards is going to give you the value there. So you can imagine what that does to an ecosystem where card scarcity and deflationary card assets are valuable. So I don't know if that'll happen, but I definitely could see it happening. I don't see any reason why it couldn't happen. And if you look at the SPS white paper, I'll bring up the SPS white paper here. What you can see here is I've got the token distribution screen up here. Now the airdrop here has dropped 400 million tokens, or will have dropped 400 million tokens over 12 months here, which is what this release schedule is, which is 13% of the SPS tokens. But what we don't see here is, we've got basically reward pools for play to earn, as well as staking, LP, and Oracle rewards. Now, if we look at how the SPS white paper is organized here, we can see that Oracle rewards are called out here. Liquidity pools are called out here, and staking. Now that leaves for the play to earn bucket here, that leaves ranked battles, which we just got information on last week. It includes land expansion, tournament prizes, and guild brawls. Now the team has already talked about guild brawls, tournament prizes, and obviously ranked battles. What they haven't talked about is land expansion rewards of SPS. So if we look at this token pool here, there's 900 million tokens over the next 65 months. So roughly, what is that? Almost 5.5 years that have been allocated to play to earn, which is roughly probably about a little over 2 times what was allocated for the SPS airdrop over the last 12 months. And this is going to, again, have to be divided up between guild brawls, tournament prizes, and ranked battles. And the period of time is, well, it's roughly, 5 times more. So it's not going to be as much SPS coming into the ecosystem, but definitely some SPS as far as land expansion goes should be coming our way. So it could be an interesting time. And this is why I know there's been some talk about, will card prices dip, in 9 days when the SPS airdrop ends? Possibly not, especially if the team announces, the non-card market and the unveiling of land here shortly, because, well, that could really make Chaos Legion sell out pretty quickly, or at least ramp up the sale of Chaos Legion as people start buying packs and opening packs to have monsters to level up to put on plots of land, whether you own those lands or whether you're renting those lands from someone who maybe bought a tract or a region that doesn't have enough cards to put on those lands. So very quickly, we could have a cascading effect where instead of card prices dropping, we could have Chaos Legion packs possibly ramping up and eventually selling out sooner than later, and actually card prices rising because of the increased demand, like we already talked about, minimum of 750,000 cards required, possibly more, ideally at max level. So I guess what I would say with this is don't wait on the sidelines necessarily. I mean, card prices are low in the market. We all know that. Will they go lower? Sure, they could definitely go lower, but how much lower can they go? Like at the end of this reward season, the reward cards were half a penny. Can they go lower than half a penny? I mean, yeah, but not much lower. And so, in some ways, it might be worth dollar cost averaging because we know this is a historical low price for cards. And yeah, they might go lower, but they could also go up. So don't get left sitting on the sidelines when things start going up and you're like, wow, I wish I would have bought more when the prices were low. So just something to consider.